Hi, hello, and welcome to Vertex of Abundance. My name is Serene Priestess Gorgeous, and I will be your oracle today. And I'm here to brief us on the soulmate twin flame and karmic energy for, well, most of April, especially the last couple of weeks there. Also the beginning of May. What I'm going to do is in the title, put May, but understand in the temple archives it's going to be under April, because the original publishing date for this would have actually been the 16th of April and another one on the 29th of April. So this is a special edition because we're going to do what's called a macro briefing. A macro briefing merges variant themes. So the variant theme is going to be both the soulmate karmic briefing called Revolving Door and the twin flame soulmate briefing called 1111 Divine Lovers series. The name of this video, this briefing here, is going to be called the Emergent Divine Partnership Assessment. It's going to go from spring to summer. That's how it's going to be filed away. It'll be filed under Divine Lovers It'll be filed under Divine Lovers and Revolving Door in the Temple Archives, just so you know. And if you're going and looking a little bit deeper, it would also be under Divine Partnerships Assessment. It'll come up under Karma. It'll come up under Catalytic. It'll come up under Soulmate. Okay? And Twin Flame. So we're going to do a little bit different than you're used to, okay? Just understand that you can follow us along in the temple. Check the link in the show notes, okay? Or go over to vertexofabundance.org, okay? Under Oracle Series, you will see both the Revolving Door and the 1111 Divine Lover series. There'll be two videos in there. One for the Karmic Soulmates and the other one for the Catalytic / Twin Flame Soulmates, okay? So let's get in here. The way that this spread is designed to work is 11 by 11. I'm going to get into the energies, and at the end, I'll brief you on a little bit more about how our approach to divine partnerships is here at the Temple Vertex of Abundance. And, you know, welcome, by the way. This is like a realignment, a retuning, a recalibration, a reassessment, a revision, a check-in, you know, of the 1111 Divine Lovers series, basically the Divine Partnership Assessments. So one thing I'm noticing is that in general, the connection between the lovers, okay? It's seeking a little bit more excitement. Now, today is the second going into the third. It's the early dawn of the third. And I believe that is a Thursday, Jovade. So I'm here with the sun and the moon and a little bit of Mars energy. I do Venusian work. So we definitely have the lovers channel through. We'll see how that's manifesting. Now, one thing I'm noticing in the heavens, we have Jupiter and the sun here. So we're entering in, and things in the seventh dimension in the heavens, it's saying that on one side. So I was saying today is the third. We just experienced the full moon. Full moon was in Scorpio. So even though I'm going to be doing both divine and karmic energies here, higher and lower energies here, I do want to say we're going to be having the divine feminine on this side, simply because we're right there in that Scorpio full moon corridor. This will be the divine masculine on this side, closer to the camera. Okay. And I'll brief you on the energy. So if anybody is a student looking to come into the labs, I'll call out the times. All right. And just the position will be named, and it's atypical. That doesn't normally happen in a briefing. So in the heavens here, something is becoming clear, how to get better, how to become fulfilled, how to become nourished. And ultimately, it's really the energy of nourishment, needs exchange, perfection, balance, equilibrium, union, frankly, the group, coming to the soul group. So here's the deal. It would seem like the feminine is aware of the group, the origin, that there's something alive in them that is of the same. Now, on the lower nature, it would appear like, oh, okay, hey, yeah, we're doing good, we're chilling, we're vibing right. Now, that would be the more mundane. We're soulmates, you know. The higher would be we're of the same soul group. We have some type of alignment, and it's good that we can grow and heal for a while because we have similar needs. We're heading in a similar direction. We operate at a similar resonance vibration. Now, it's mirrored with this Eight of Swords, that Six of Cups, and that's more the energy of Jupiter trying to expand the mind. This is a difficult gate to enter in through. There's a lot of truth here. One person might be trying to be too rational, too actual, too factual, be trying to go and verify in black and white like in a book or a Google site, and not just sitting here dealing with the emotions, the invisible, the intangible, the immeasurable about it is what I'm getting. So every time truth comes forward, they become conflicted, confused. That's what I'm picking up here. You know, it's responded on the Divine Feminine by saying, listen, the challenge here, this is the overall energy, what we enter in the month from, what we were experiencing as we wrapped up the last bit of the previous cycle. This position here, second position, would be the challenge, the obstacle, the conflict. Foundation, stripping, dealing with truth. So the reality was getting stripped there. There's a significant issue here with the belief on the divine masculine side. Now, again, remember, you don't need to be masculine at birth. You don't need to be male assigned at birth to be embodying the masculine role. That's typically the person or the partner who embodies the mental energy more, who goes out and sees this, who drives the action more instead of, you know, responding, nurturing, creating through manifestation of the emotional body. This is the mental and spiritual body more. The divine masculine. Okay, they have to deal more with the head, the higher self. Now, there was a challenge in the belief. They needed to be walking around wounded a little bit and have that strip their material reality so they could realize that they needed to align with the divine truth. The divine feminine here is literally just saying, I'm coming into the right foundation. I'm beginning to be around people that I vibe with. I'm finding my tribe. I'm in union with the soul group. I'm around people from my soul group, from my soul origins. And I'm building a foundation around that. Okay, now the focus here. For the feminine would be union. Now this typically is a spiritual union, Two of Cups. It can come into the physical, especially if there's pentacles, especially the Queen of Pentacles. That's the physical body. Moon in an earth sign, physical body. Now, I'm not seeing the masculine here. So I would say the feminine has progressed through this cycle a little bit more. The feminine's a little bit more accelerated in the cycle than the masculine. So they're further along in the timeline, meaning more into the future, and they're anchoring in energy, or they're sending energy for the masculine to anchor in. They're supporting them by holding them up, sending them love and light. In whatever way it would appear, and trust me, you don't need to be literally being kind to a person to be sending them love and light and helping them. Sometimes you're serving your cause in the environment, and it's not particularly pleasant. And as you go on and evolve and mature, you don't typically want to embody more of that energy. You come to into knowledge of the self, and you decide to release and align yourself with a higher vibration. We're going to really go into this. It's going to be deep, but it doesn't need to be dispositive. I can also say negative, but I'm going to again repeat dispositive. The feminine is healing, wants to come into union. The masculine here is beginning to have growth. They're getting messages of coming out from the cold. There is going to be some type of movement here. I feel like it's going to be on the masculine. The masculine's going to come in speaking about movement forward. So we have the focus. We have the sacrifice to be made on the feminine side. It's the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. So Queen of Pentacles in reverse could mean a couple things. Now, somebody needs to put more time, energy, resources into communication, shared emotions, passions, drives, desires. They need to come out and play, open up the heart, communicate more. And it hasn't been happening, but as we leave, it will happen, because this 8+1 is 9 swords. Somebody gets to the somebody completes their strategy. And it was difficult. They had to look at the good, the bad, and the ugly. They had to make a few mistakes. They had to be fear. There's risk there. It was rather exacting. And it's a self-truth. The masculine's going to need the sacrifices for them to speak a truth about themselves. Their reality got stripped. They need to go and figure out what to do and how to get their needs met, how to navigate their reality, because the feminine stopped suffering along with them. They weren't co-signing the BS story and enabling the lack of healing. The feminine went on. Now, the feminine is actualized and doesn't feel that way. And when I was saying somebody needs to come out to play, open up the heart, and communicate, I was saying they feel they're upside down because they feel the masculine needs to do that. They're also focusing on a lot of personal things. Becoming a better person in the community is what I'm hearing. But that means because they've started a business recently, they've become self-actualized, but they're not nurturing, creating anything in partnership or union or relationship. But they're working on their grind and their hustle, and they're improving. They're coming into a really great foundation. Excuse me while I have a sip of tea. It's lemon ginger mate for those who like to ask. I love to share, don't worry. 2 2s means a new friendship. So again, potentiality here. Somebody is feeling that things are unfair. They're going to be creating some more excitement, some more flow. It would be the feminine. The masculine is decided to be confused. A message comes their way, but it looks like they're making a movement towards the feminine. So the feminine is not open and receptive to bartering about creating some type of union. Okay. There need to be changes to the foundation. The feminine has already gone towards them. Things may just suddenly come together very nicely. Things finally happen. It would look like an overnight success that was a year and a half in the making. Because things could move really fast, but it wouldn't seem like it because the Prince of Pentacles is in the center. I mean, the evolving situation is that there's victory going into next month, and it's the feminine that is more victorious, and the masculine finally shifts their perspective. They used to be pessimistic, now they're optimistic. They used to be disinterested, now they're just realistic about it, you know, whatever the case may be. there is a victory and a shift in perspective here. So that is what I'm seeing over the last month in April. What was going on was that the feminine was healing and the masculine became confused, because the feminine probably would do their energy. I am seeing somebody's been able to cut cords here. It wouldn't seem like it, because the cords really is the Eight of Swords. The need to cut cords is the Eight of Swords. But with the Six of Cups here, it's saying that the feminine is healing and has been able to retain most of their energy. It is still somewhat connected. I would suggest doing some sacral cleansing. I'll talk about that. The masculine is like, where's this energy? What's going on? I don't have any supply. It could be narcissistic supply if you're in a codependent relationship, a toxic relationship, but it could just be energetic. Sometimes the person could be getting love and light. There could be heart-to-heart communication. No, because y'all would be moving forward together if that was happening. But telepathic communication especially, and it might be severed. They may only be able to speak in dreams now and no more, mind to mind, because it's taken a long time, but they're finally healing. The feminine is going back to her former state before this connection, and the masculine is confused because the reality gets stripped. Okay. My findings is that there's an opportunity for union. It's going to come through very quickly or out of the blue. It's not, but it would appear that way. And that was what was going on in May. Now in April, moving into May, onwards, from April, like leaving April, closing out that April cycle, we're moving into, there's literally like a negotiation here for a partnership. And it has something to do with a personal relationship. And what's going to happen is that the masculine is going to need to address the truth. The feminine is going to need to become receptive. Because I'm finding that there's the opportunity for a bond. It's practical. There will be actual movement. They're going to need to plan and restructure a few things. They're going to need to have a couple conversations, flesh out some ideas, flesh out some truth, shift the belief around. Now, moving into June, again, like I said, I'm finding that there's an opportunity for partnership. The feminine is not feeling open and receptive to nurturing into creation. She's been working on herself. They're needing to have a practical plan. I'm finding, however, the feminine is definitely open to a lot. Doesn't need to be actual facts, or you don't need to communicate commitment right away. But there needs to be truth and clarity about the past. It doesn't need to be reconciliation and closure. There needs to be truth moving forward. Everything needs to be on the table in terms of what the expectations are. If it's just bed pleasures, fine, a healthy energy exchange, as long as it's clear, communicated clearly. If you've been secretly in love with this person, which is the truth, you're finally aware that this person was your soulmate. That's why they were able to suffer with you. And now that they've left the suffering and decided to use that pain to catapult them into a future instead of enslaving themselves to a low vibrational reality, they've healed. The masculine's like, where's that energy gone? So we're moving into June, example. It would be the victory. There's going to be some type of culmination around the full moon. The full moon is, the new moon. Around the new moon, there's going to be the beginning of something. Yeah, so moving on towards the end of the month, I would say, the 29th of May. There's going to be some type of victory. There's going to be like an actual commitment and an exchange. So, again, this was the divine partnership assessment. And what this is it's anchoring in healing. I'm finding that the feminine needs to become open. The feminine is having some challenges becoming open and receptive to a union because they're having a good foundation already, but they're withdrawn. Their energy is withdrawn. They're working more on their wealth, on their worldly affairs. The masculine has been working some things out, doing some planning and restructuring, because they were confused because the feminine withdrew their energy and was healing on their own. The recommendation here is to have a practical conversation about how to drive life forward and make an actual movement towards it. There needs to be an over amount of communication, and it's going to be anguishing to the masculine because they're conflicted with this lack of the feminine is no longer giving the narcissistic supply, and some of these connections are divine in nature. Okay, so what it is would be co-signing the BS. They're no longer giving energy to something that's not going anywhere. Depending on the vibration of the partnership, it would depend on what that looks like. For some of you, it will be toxic codependency, and for others, it would be, stepping into your self-worth and value and just releasing the attachment and letting it be whatever it is. Sometimes people come into your life to get you willing to search or be open or receptive to the next thing that comes by that's going to be with you for some time. It's been an honor and pleasure to serve you. Thank you for allowing me the privilege to do so. Please check the show notes. There'll be both the 1111 Divine Lovers series that's going to cover twin flame energy, soulmate energy. Okay. The revolving door is also going to be in the show notes. That's going to cover the release, the healing from the karmic part of the relationship. Okay. Peace be with you. Take good care of yourself. Wholeness and balance to you and your loved ones. May wellness be with you in all of your endeavors. Until we meet again, until we read again. Namaste, Dandavat, and Ashe. Bye-bye.